no secret that fandoms can be some of the most unhinged set of individuals you come across on the internet, especially music fans. This is not a single genre problem, but all of them. Hip-hop, R&B, rock, the list goes on. But if I have to give the crown to the most deserving set of music fans based on genre, it will have to be pop fans.
Okay. Okay.
I too am a pop fan, and I'm sure other pop fans will agree with me. And I know rap fans in general can be some of the most out-of-pocket and demanding fans online, and in real life. But again, pop fans take the goddamn cake. And yes, as the pop culture grandpa, I am not exempt from this conversation, but also as the pop culture grandpa, I am automatically forgiven and exonerated of any bad behavior. But I can't say the same for you. That's a joke. I'm just being silly. Or am I? The inspiration behind me making this video stems from Doja Cat recently crashing out on her fans due to them complaining about her not changing costumes on her current world tour, Ma V, in support of her latest retro 80s album, V. Now, I've been on Doja's ass in past videos, and when I first heard about this conversation, I was like, damn, Doja Cat is always in this perpetual state of war with her fans, and I was also like, it has to be exhausting being a Doja Cat fan. But after analyzing the situation, like that Cynthia meme, which I do not have the full context for, like that model from America's Next Top Model, I've switched gears because people are complaining about the most minuscule shit regarding her tour, and I want to yap about it for this video, along with the dichotomy between the standards set for the sexes in pop music and why we should all get the fuck off of Twitter. I am Donnie Pop Culture Boy, let's get into it.
Catastrophic.
So Doja Cat, who kicked off her world tour, Mavi World Tour, in Auckland, New Zealand on Tuesday, November 18, got into it with her fans on Twitter who criticized her tour's visuals, structure, and complained about the lack of outfit changes. Furthermore, comparing it to her Scarlet tour that took place in 2023.
Day 1, Auckland, New Zealand. I love you, thank you, and I can't wait to see you all tonight.
Now, it would have been nice if Doja Cat just ignored some of these tweets or just ignore all of the tweets, but I guess she wouldn't be Doja Cat if she did. Now, let's go through some of the tweets that sent her over the edge. It seems like the first tweet that caused Doja to crash out was this tweet from a fan that mentioned similarities between her tours, with the fan posting, "No shade, the V tour just gives Scarlet with different outfits." Another fan added, "Hopefully she listens to the criticism." In response, Doja said, "I won't, and I don't need you." Another fan questioned how a tour called My Life could have no storyline, no visuals, no outfit changes. Doja answered, "Because I make music for people who enjoy music. I'm not a Broadway act." Now, it looks like she deleted that reply, but not this tweet where she added, "And I'm not your fucking costume monkey. I move at my own pace and break my fucking back out there every night, so you can keep your bullshit opinion to yourself. You are not the artist. You are the watcher." Meanwhile, someone responded to that thread tweeting, "Mad and miserable, cause it's the truth. Bitch, you barely even promoted V. Fell off the charts drastically cause the collective wasn't fucking with it. Now you're on tour charging $500 plus to see you Whitney Houston tweak on stage with no dancers, no visuals, nothing. Girl, fuck you." Now, here's where things get a little cunty. This user said, "I hate that Doja is comfortable where she's at currently in her career. We're really not getting any more smash hits." To which the artist replied, "You're such a little cunt. Go fuck yourself." Another fan said, "No outfit changes this era too? Who fucking cares? I'm singing my music for the people who want to hear me sing. You're not even at the effing show," Doja Cat replied. And here's a more lighthearted interaction. This person added, "No, right, I'ma need a costume change somewhere in there too, like, I don't know, take the wig off halfway through or something. Watch me not do any of these things," Doja Cat replied with a smiley face at the end. Alright, that's enough with the tweets.
I've had it. Enough.
Now, obviously, I was not in attendance at her concert, which has ticket ranging from $800 to $70, by the way. But all this commotion made me curious enough to check out clips of her concert, and sure, being at a concert in person versus, checking out clips online are two different experiences, but do you know who attended her show? Shane Kane from The Guardian, who attended the stop at Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena in Australia, who also gave the show 4 stars out of 5, writes, "Ignore the headlines. This is a pop provocateur at the top of her game. The US pop rapper is a ferocious and cheeky stage presence, backed by a fantastically tight band who bring in 80s funk to her biting songs. But we have people on social media calling her tour boring."
Yeah, right.
Sane further added, "There might be no costume changes, but there are fireworks, hellish flames, and one very bold outfit, a messy pink wig, a very high-cut leopard print bodysuit, and half a face of dramatic makeup like a clown who has to rush off to a Duran Duran concert." When people were saying that Doja's tour was, not good or boring, I was expecting something like similar, like a similar experience to Katy Perry's Lifetime's tour, which got backlash for being like disorganized, complete with Katy's goofy dance moves. Which, to be honest, the hate for Katy Perry's tour was overblown in my opinion. Anyway, based on what I saw online, Doja's tour seems high energy and not a waste of time. To me at least. And I also saw tweets where persons were saying that the tour was great in regards to her outfit/looks not being impressive. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that, but at the same time, I can see where some people are coming from with their responses. But I do think some of the responses were unhinged and unwarranted, because based on what I saw, she looked great and the costumes were vibrant and very creative. So what if she didn't change a lot or change at all on each stop? Like, who cares? As long as she isn't in some ill-fitted or, attire that is not stage appropriate. As look, I understand, people spend their hard-earned money, so an expectation to expect looks that are different from her previous tour are reasonable. However, on that note, she doesn't have to. When you buy a ticket, there are no promises of different looks or outfits from the performer. Looking back at some of Doja's tweets, the only thing I'll consider a little too far, from a business standpoint at least, is her coming off as superior when she labeled that fan a watcher, because some fans might perceive it as condescending or elitist, which in turn turns them off from attending future shows. For example, this user replied to Doja stating, "You wouldn't even be an artist without the watcher, so maybe instead of tweaking online like usual, you just keep scrolling when people have opinions you don't like. This is Twitter, get used to it." That said, in the handbook of clapbacks and provocations, there's no rules, and sometimes you get what you ask for when you provoke someone you don't know, but think you know because you buy their music and follow them on social media. Why are pop fans so demanding? While having fans is a must to be a successful pop star, and having fans is something that is celebrated by multiple artists, most artists, while they appreciate their fans' dedication and affection, it also must be a double-edged sword, due to pop fans getting more demanding and aggressive as social media becomes more prevalent in everyday life. Fans can be demanding for a variety of reasons, such as having a deep sense of investment, social media amplification, and a desire for close parasocial relationship with their faves that is lacking in their real lives. There are plenty more factors, but we can all agree, whatever factor, these fans or pop fans are being perceived more for being the worst, especially when they feel crossed or betrayed by their favorite pop star. Doja Cat is not innocent in the situation at all, and I won't go as far to say she's a victim here because she's been very nasty to her fans in the past. That said, her fans have been very demanding and unreasonable towards her on multiple occasions, like the Paraguay incident where fans got upset because she never greeted them outside her hotel after canceling a performance due to severe weather. As a result, her fans proceeded to drag her online, like that one scene in Substance. Her fans have also been out of pocket about her music they don't like, too many times to count now. In 2024, K-pop idol Karina made a public apology to her fans on social media after getting backlash from parasocial demanding fans after going public with her relationship. According to the BBC, a K-pop star has issued a groveling apology after incensed fans accuse her of betrayal because she has a boyfriend. The fans reportedly drove a truck to the pop star Karina's agency after finding out she was dating actor Lee Jae-wook. Is the love given to you by your fans not enough? An electric billboard on the vehicle demanded. In a letter shared on Instagram, the aespa frontwoman vowed to heal the wounds she had inflicted. I apologize for surprising you greatly, the 23-year-old wrote, promising to show a more mature and hardworking side in the future.
K-pop stars live in a really controlled world and have to abide by all sorts of rules. One of the most important is absolutely no relationships. Right now, one of the stars of one of Korea's biggest groups, aespa, has had to apologize after it was revealed that she had a secret boyfriend. Her fans were so outraged that they wrote in to complain, they attacked her on social media, some even sent a digital billboard round to her music agency to complain that she cared more about her boyfriend than the fans.
So this type of behavior from fans are not new in the K-pop industry, and as we can see, the idols also encourage this demanding behavior, like Karina, who apologized for disappointing her fans for dating. It's like homegirl can't get her coochie scratched in peace. Now back to Doja Cat. Lots of people disagree with Doja Cat when it comes to her responses in the situation, and I think I would have the same sentiment maybe if this was like 2 years ago, and I understand, that stance, but my stance is she did nothing wrong. As the rapper continues to further her career, this behavior of clapbacks and crash outs is becoming more and more a part of her brand, and I'm not in agreement simply because this goes with her brand, but I'm more so okay with her responses because it's clear this persona she wants to lead with, she's been leading with this persona since like Paint the Town Red. This is what she wants to do, and like I said, she was provoked. It's fuck around and find out 101.
It's me, Roger, the fuck around and find out guy.
Can this be bad for business? Absolutely. But if Doja Cat likes it, then I love it. This is her career. If she wants to crash it, that is her prerogative. And when we get caught up in her brand being friendly or her business being affected, we ignore what truly matters, which is the music. Now, I have to admit, a part of me is a little skeptic of this whole entire situation. Meaning, Doja's strategy of crashing out whenever she has something coming out. She crashed out in her Scarlet era. She, like a month ago or 2 months ago, she crashed out on the Musty Shirt Guy, and now she's crashing out while on tour. I've already mentioned this in another video, but it's becoming predictable at this point. Like, damn, you're going to crash out every single time you have something to promote. Like, at this point, pick a new controversial strategy. Still, a part of me doesn't blame her because, controversy does sell, as if you didn't know she was on tour like me, now you know. This situation reminds me of the Sombr drama where he responded to a concert goers whose TikTok went viral, found his show cringe, prompting him to respond, resulting in this wave of controversy and think pieces while his songs rose on the Hot 100. One of those songs, Back to Friends, peaking in the top 10 in the aftermath. Meanwhile, lots of people are like, or were like, who the fuck is Sombr? Well, now they know because he responded to criticism while also trying to play victim of being body shamed because the person called him Slender Man, while he highlighted the person being like 25 years old and how he's freshly 20, which is language that will trigger weird age gap conversations. He also admitted in his response video that he's chronically online, like me, which kind of convinced me that I did not know what he was doing, and I being chronically online makes it easy for me to spot these things, for me to call out. All of this is, obviously alleged, and this is just my stupid opinion. None of it matters.
You think it's so fucking funny, huh? Funny.
Whenever these conversations pertaining to stan culture and all that relates to it goes viral, in my experience, Twitter tends to be the social media platform where the drama is overblown and downright nonsensical, where we all engage by fighting each other, where no common ground is found, no resolution is met. The conversation just keeps spinning in this perpetual state of toxic shit. And this is always happening on Twitter, especially with Doja Cat. And I think this will continue to happen as long as Twitter continues to profit off our outrage. I mean, studies tell us social media is designed to trigger you and reward anger to maximize user engagement and advertising revenue. The fact that you can now monetize your tweets, why not continue the wheel of nonsense? And I'm not saying that's what you should do, I'm just saying that's what's happening. An example of this was the recent feature added to Twitter, which display one's location, exposing a ton of political MAGA accounts for being located elsewhere rather in the US. Motherfuckers were in Nigeria talking about they are MAGA, when in fact they were just engagement farmers and propagandists. So maybe we should not engage on Twitter, no matter how triggered we get, or just simply log the fuck off. These rhetorics that pop stars have to change costumes and the normalization of overly getting criticized for performances being boring when they aren't in reality mainly happens with the pop girls, rarely with the men, which is rooted in misogyny or the sport of women hating on these social media platforms. As a man, we can go on stage in a wife beater, simple ass pants, no shoes, and rock out, bring the house down even. But for the women who we treat like entities instead of humans, can have on the most elegant dress with heels, give the performance of a lifetime, and their own fans will harass them online for not changing costumes and shit on the entire show because of that. And if they respond, is told, why are you responding? After being, unjustifiably shitted on. This is not to say, fans shouldn't complain. Not at all. I think it's good to complain, but maybe we should start to evaluate our complaints before we hit send. In the same fashion, we check celebrities, like Doja Cat for responding quote-unquote poorly. And maybe we don't have to complain about everything publicly sometimes. I know social media encourages us to keep everything public, in turn making us fiend for engagement, rather real or private connections, like sliding in the DMs, like what happened to sliding in them blood clot DMs. And I know DMs, get exposed sometimes, becoming its own spectacle. But at least your intentions come across as a concerned fan offering advice, rather someone trying to go viral for being ruthless for engagement. What do you think? I am Don, your pop culture boy, and I will see you in the next one.